welcome back. Or if you're just joining, my name is Maya, and welcome to my channel, Cranley Place, where I'm focused on Hermes scarf style, knot tutorials, and more. Before we get started, let me give a shout out to all the new channel members and special welcome to the new knot connoisseurs and elegant insiders. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the membership options. You obviously don't need one to still enjoy my channel content, such as my scarf reviews and style tips, but there are progressive perks available at each level and some videos that are reserved exclusively for elegant insiders and up, such as my knot tutorials. Check it out! Seriously? How is it that we're talking about price increases again, less than 12 months after the last hike? You may have seen my prior editions in which I looked at the math per square inch for select Hermes scarf sizes and formats. In today's video, I want to review the recent price increases and see which Hermes size and format offers the best value for the money, such as it is. I'll start with some caveats. First, I'm not looking at all Hermes scarves, but 20 of the more prevalent sizes on their global websites from both the men's and the women's collections. Second, all calculations are per square inch in US dollars based on current prices published online on Hermes.com as of January 2024. Third, I've recently noticed some instances of slight reductions in measured scarf dimensions. Now, Hermes has always claimed to have slight variations due to their hand-rolled hems, but based on my own informal study and what they've disclosed on their websites, is it actually sizeflation? You make the call. Finally, I know that some of you in the past suggested that I take the material into consideration, silk twill versus cashmere, for example. However, these calculations do not factor in the material simply because I haven't found a good way to quantify that differential. Point is, I heard you, but I'm not enough of a math nerd to figure it out. So, if you have ideas, let me know in the comments and I'll consider it for next time. At any rate, let's get started with our countdown. 20 Hermes scarf sizes and formats rank from the most expensive to the best value for the money. Starting at number 20, Doll Twillies. These petite ribbons measure a mere 20.9 inches by 0.8 inches for a total area of 16.72 square inches. These are now priced at $135, which amounts to $8.07 per square inch, compared to last year's $7.18 per square inch when they were priced at $120. In 2022, by the way, these were $110, so that's a 23% price increase over 2 years. Coming in at number 19, Classic Twillies from the women's collection. Measuring 2 inches by 33.9 inches, that comes out to an area of 67.8 square inches. These are now priced at $220 versus last year's $205, which comes out to $3.24 per square inch compared to $3.02 per square inch in 2023. I'll also note that compared to 2022, when a Twilly cost $195, this year's price is 13% higher. Pretty? Yes. Pretty expensive? Your call. Here at number 18, we have Twillies from the men's collection. This format is new to the men's side of the house this year. They don't have a track record per se, but I suspect that Hermes wouldn't have introduced them if there wasn't a demand. Their listed measurements are 2 inches by 33.8 inches. That's slightly shorter than the women's Twilly and comes to an area of 67.6 square inches. These are priced at $215, so a touch less than a woman's version, and this comes to $3.18 per square inch. At number 17, Twilly Twins from the women's collection. At 2 inches by 65 inches, these aren't quite twice as long as a classic Twilly, but close. In terms of area, that's 130 square inches. These are priced at $345 each, which comes to $2.65 per square inch. Worth it? I'm still not convinced. Here at number 16, women's twill-ups. This format has been around for a few years now and measures 4.3 inches by 33.5 inches, sort of a twilly on steroids. In area, the twill-ups come to 144 square inches, which at its current price is $1.74 per square inch. Coming in at number 15, the 45 centimeter silk twills from the women's side of the house. I have to point out a bit of sizeflation here. At 45 by 45 centimeters, I would expect that to be 17.7 inches squared, or about 314 square inches. But if you look closely, the listed measurements for the 45s are now 16.5 by 16.9 on some sites and 42 by 43 centimeters on those that use metric, which seems oddly specific. That comes out to 278.85 square inches, or 11% smaller for a higher price. Per square inch, that's 90 cents, compared to 2023's 73 cents. And compared to 2022, it's an 11% delta in price when the women's 45s were $225. At number 14 are the men's 45 centimeter pocket squares. Again, I think another victim of sizeflation here since the stated measurements are now 16.5 by 16.5 inches. The area comes out to about 272 square inches versus last year's assumption based on the 17.7 inches squared of 324 square inches. Ouch! Priced at $200, the cost per square inch is 73 cents compared to last year's $190 for a slightly larger scarf and 59 cents per square inch. Since 2022, when the men's 45s were $175 each, this is now a 14% increase. Here at number 13, these measure 23.6 inches squared, which in area is 558 square inches. Priced at $395 each, that's 71 cents per square inch. Getting better? Yes. Good enough? I'm not sure. Coming in at number 12, the women's cashmere giant triangles. These are half of a 140 centimeter scarf cut on the diagonal, and since those are now listed at 136 by 136 centimeters, these too are possibly a touch smaller, although I have not yet confirmed that. So assuming those dimensions, the area should be just over 1,431 square inches. Since these are now $910, that comes out to 64 cents per square inch. Note that in 2022, these were $810, which makes this a 12% increase since then. At number 11 are the women's 70 centimeter silk twill scarves. Theoretically, these should be about 27.6 inches squared, but these two are also a touch smaller, now listed at 26 by 26 inches. That comes to 676 square inches versus last year's area of 756.25 square inches. And at $415, this comes to 61 cents per square inch. In 2023, these were $375 each, making the delta price increase from last year 10.7%. Okay, we're halfway through our list. Here at number 10, the men's 100 centimeter cashmeres. These appear to still be the same size as last year, coming out to an area of 1,552.4 square inches. But these are now priced at $930, which comes out to 60 cents per square inch. Last year, these were $870 each and 56 cents per square inch. The number 9, the men's cashmere rectangles. These two so far appear to be unchanged in terms of size, measuring 24.8 by 70.9 inches, or 1,758.32 square inches. But these are also now priced at $1,000 versus last year's $930. Per square inch, that's 57 cents compared to 53 cents last year. Here at number 8, the women's 55 centimeter silk twill bandanas. Measuring about 21.6 inches squared, this comes to an area of about 468.9 square inches. Priced at $260 each, that comes out to 55 cents per square inch. On number 7, we have the men's 65 centimeter silk cotton blend scarves. At about 25.5 inches squared, the area comes to about 650 square inches. These are now priced at $330, which comes to 45 cents per square inch. We've broken the 50 cent per inch barrier with this one. What do you think? Now, at number 6, we have the women's cashmere 140 centimeters, which apparently are actually 136 by 136 centimeters. That comes in slightly smaller in area than last year, which was 3,025 square inches. And based on these new measurements, the area is now 2,905 square inches. Priced at $1,300 each, these are 45 cents per square inch compared to last year's 1,225 and 42 cents per square inch. Since 2022, when these were priced at $950, that is now a 37% increase over 2 years. I triple checked the math on that one, but unfortunately, I think it's right. Technically, this next one is a tie for cost per square inch, but I've ranked it higher because of its smaller 2-year price differential. Here, I'm talking about the size that comprises the bulk of my collection, the women's 90 centimeter silk twills. These are also nominally a bit smaller now at 34.8 inches squared, which comes out to an area of 1,211 square inches versus 1,296 in prior years. With the new price increases, the 90 centimeters are now $550 each, which is 45 cents per square inch. Last year, these were $510, and the year prior, $480. Since 2022, the 90 centimeters have increased 15% in price. Coming in at number 4, we have the cashmere 140 centimeters from the men's collection. Why are these not paired with the women's 140 centimeter cashmere GMs? Well, they could be, but because they are nominally still 140 centimeters or 55.12 inches squared, they're still theoretically a bit larger than the women's. That could be a lag effect, of course, if they haven't updated the dimensions, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. If you know otherwise, please let me know in the comments. Like the women's cashmere GMs, there is no price differential at $1,300 each. But with the theoretical area of 3,025 square inches, these come in slightly lower at 43 cents per square inch. Here we are at number 3 with the women's silk twill rectangles. Nominal measurements are 36 inches by 70.8 inches for a total area of 2,548.8 square inches. These rectangles have increased in price from $970 in 2023 to $1,000. That comes out to 39 cents per square inch versus last year's 38 cents. But get this, in 2022, this format was priced at $800. Effectively, that's a 25% increase over 2 years. At number 2, we have the women's Silk Twill GM 140 centimeter scarves. These also have shrunk slightly in size. Instead of truly 140 centimeter or 55 inches squared, these are listed at 136 centimeters or 53.5 inches squared, which is an area of 2,862.25 square inches. Priced at $900, that comes out to 35 cents per square inch versus last year's 31 cents per square inch when they cost $950. And compared to 2022, when these were priced at $930, that is a more modest 6% increase over the past 2 years. Finally, at number 1 on the list, the Hermes scarf size and format with the best value for the money, the women's double-faced 90 centimeter silk twill scarves. Like some others on this list, this format is also a touch smaller, now nominally measuring 88 centimeters or 34.8 inches squared for a total area of 2,422 square inches. Still, in terms of cost per square inch, priced now at $690, we're looking at 28 cents per square inch. Compared to 2023, when these were listed at $640, the per square inch cost at that time was 26 cents. This is a 7.8 cost increase since last year. So there you have it. 20 Hermes scarf sizes and formats, ranked from the most expensive to the best value for the money based on the 2024 price changes. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think in the comments. In future episodes, I'll share other scarf reviews, tutorials, and more, so be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified of new videos. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time.